Alright guys, we gotta talk about this movie Obsession that just recently came out. Now, I'm honestly blown away, This is a film that I was so excited to see just because I had heard so many great things about it, and when I saw the trailer for the first time also, it was one of those movies where I was like, damn, like I have to see this shit. And overall, man, I can truly say that I was not disappointed by this film. One of the things I loved about this movie, just the tension in this movie is so insane. But, Curry Barker deserves a lot of credit for this movie, guys. I thought that what he did with this movie is absolutely phenomenal. And I'm somebody that likes horror a lot, already as it is. So going into this, I was expecting it to be a good film. I had seen that on Rotten Tomatoes and all these other review sites that they're getting really good ratings. So I was like, you know what, like I want to go see this, and I was gonna see either way just because I like horror. But man, dude, Curry Barker, bro, was in his fucking bag for this. We're talking, he was like 2018 LeBron, bro. Like, the amount of shit that he did in this movie was so amazing. First off, this movie was such an original story. That's what I love about horror. I feel like there's so many stories that can be told from different perspectives. I feel like what he did with this story was so well done. The story, in a lot of ways, is very simple, but just the way that he executed it, it was so fucking well done, man. And the acting in this movie, this goes back to what people say that, like, for you to have a great movie, you really need a great cast. And I feel like the characters of Bear and Nikki are just some of the best characters I've ever seen in a horror movie. I mean, Michael Johnston did so great as Bear. I thought his performance was super fucking just sad, bro. It was a sad, emotional performance, and I really think that like he was so fucking great in this movie, man. Just all the scenes that he's in, he's basically the main character of this movie, and you basically follow him the entire time. And that's another thing about this movie. There really is no like side plots or subplots at all. This whole movie focuses on these characters, and to see Bear's character go through what he goes through in this film, it's honestly pretty heartbreaking. I think it's very just emotional. It's very intense. And speaking of emotional intense, Indy, I don't know how to pronounce her last name, Indy Navarrete. I don't know how I pronounce that. I might have butchered that. I'm sorry, but her performance, dude, in this fucking movie stole the fucking show, man. For her to play like, for her suddenly to go from like super sweet to like super just weird and like psycho, like suddenly, like, guys, it's important if you're making movies to hire good actors, dude, because for this reason, right? She absolutely knocked it out of the park for this movie, man. I want to say in this review there are going to be spoilers in this review, so that is your warning. So if you have not seen Obsession, I really highly recommend it. If you like horror, this is a must watch. Honestly, I think if you should go out to the theater and go see this, don't wait for streaming, just go out and see it, because trust me, you're going to enjoy this movie. And yeah, let's get into this movie a little bit more. But one of the things I loved about this movie so much was just that aspect ratio they decided to go with. I feel like for a lot of movies, we're very used to like seeing like the black box and stuff, and it's something that, I don't want to say the black box, like the black bars I'm talking about, like the top and the bottom of the screen. Like, we're so used to seeing that, and this film went with like a different aspect ratio. I just love how like tight and compressed it felt. Like, it felt like a box almost, and that's something that I loved about this movies, that they're able to really like, Curry Barker did something that was kind of different, and I feel like I liked it for the most part. I would say that change was something that I really appreciated, just because like it makes the movie feel so much more claustrophobic. I feel like for the most part this movie's already like super creepy, but just that aspect ratio makes it so much more intense, because you really feel like compressed, dude. There's a lot of scenes where it just feels like super disturbing, bro. I mean, a lot of the lighting and stuff is super great as well. There were so many scenes of like Nikki's character like just being in complete darkness, and compared to seeing Baron, he was kind of like with the light on him, and he would just cut back to seeing Nikki like in complete darkness. I love those moments because it really like symbolizes like just the darkness of the whole fucking thing, bro. The fact that she's always just almost seen in like pitch black is super fucking scary, bro. And speaking of scary, man, there are so many moments in this movie that had me fucking tense. And keeping it real, dude, there's not really like technically scary shit that happens. There's no demons flying out or like fucking people popping out of corners and shit, even though that does happen. But you guys know what I mean. Technically, visually, there isn't really anything scary, but just the way that it's shot, dude. And just, again, it goes back to the performance of this character. Really, like, she did such a well job of like showing both versions of herself. Basically, like, we barely basically see Nikki's character normal for like really early on in the movie, for her to just the entire movie, for her to be basically just psycho, and just, it's so fucking intense, man. And there's a lot of scenes in this movie where I was just trying to look away at some points because it had me so fucking tense, dude. Like, the tension in this movie is so insane. Like, they make you like I don't know what way to put it. They really make you like suffer for like every little moment in this movie. Like they really let you like just feel the dread. Like they do not let you relax for a second. Like if it's just a weird scene in a bedroom, like you're gonna be in that moment the entire time. Like they do not cut to any other scene. Like they let you stay in that moment. And the whole, One Wish Willow, like that whole aspect of the movie, like where he just like he calls out a wish and he breaks it. Like that's another great aspect, because I feel like for a lot of movies, like I never seen them. I don't know if it's just me, but I never seen something like a movie like this before. I feel like the story was really original, and just the whole eeriness of the whole like One Wish Willow, and just him searching up on like the internet whether it was real or not, like kind of goes to show like like really like Bear's character in this movie, like he really like I even saw a video where somebody was saying that he might have been the villain of the movie, and I feel like him kind of like it kind of makes you wonder like what if he had just told Nikki like how he felt, like why did he have to like do all this shit just for him to I don't know, explain it. I'm losing my train of thought, bro. Fuck. Basically, like what I'm saying is like how does like Bear like not just tell her how he actually felt to her right in the beginning? Why does he have to like always hesitate? And you kind of see it early on. Like there's a scene where he's talking to Nikki outside her house, and like just he has so many chances to kind of just say what he wants to say, and he always just hesitates, bro. And it definitely at that moment it pissed me off. I was like, come on, dog, like you gotta just say how you feel, and just for him to like pussy out, and then for him to use the wish, and then she suddenly just comes back. And it's kind of crazy how he's in denial like the whole time. Like he acts so stupid in this movie. He's like, bro, like I don't know why he tells all his friends that like he doesn't know why she's obsessed with him, but like he definitely thinks that he probably doesn't think that the wish doesn't work, but it clearly does from that moment on. And there were so many creepy scenes, everything from her cooking the cat and just him eating it during his lunch break to like there's a death scene in this movie whenever Sarah gets killed, bro. That was super fucking disturbing, bro. Like I was like, what the fuck? Because it was so fucking dark, dude. Like from that shot where like he's looking at her from they're both talking in the car, right? And like the way that it was shot, dude, like they had that window like really exposed behind her. I was like, dude, I guarantee she's gonna pop up. I just called it. I sensed it. I guess because I've watched so many movies at this point. That was one of the only moments I feel like I called it, because like the way that it was shot, like though they had so much space like behind her, I was like, she's literally gonna pop out through that glass and like kill her, bro. But the way that they kill her, just really just smash her face in, and like it was super fucking disturbing. And for her to get finally accepted to the thing that she wanted to get accepted to, and you see Bear just crying and screaming in the car, like it was pretty intense, dude. And honestly, like the ending of this movie was super dark as well. For him to just OD, and he kind of goes back and has that one last moment with her, super fucking intense, dude. And I love the way that the house was at the end. It looked very creepy and eerie. There was like weird shit playing on the TV, and all the house is messy, and all this incredible lighting, man. The sound design as well in this movie was absolutely insane, dude. They made like everything from like doors slamming to like showers turning off like super intense. Like at least in my theater, like it sounded really loud, bro. Like it startled me so many fucking times. It's insane, bro. But I think there's so many ways you can interpret the ending. I feel like for me, like the way that I feel like she kind of snapped back into like her actual self, and that's why she's screaming and panicking, because she doesn't even remember what happened and even knows what's going on. There's basically like 2 dead people in her house, and all her friend group is dead, and she's left with the mess of it, because she was basically like hypnotized in this wish, and there's a moment where like Bear is like trying to sneak out to go talk to Sarah, and you see how like she's basically like, I guess in that moment, like she's not affected by the wish, and she's literally telling Bear to like kill her. I thought that was such a great moment as well, because it seemed like there were so many chances in this movie where Bear had a chance to like ask for help or like find a way out, but he always kind of just kept going along with like Nikki's shit, dude. And it kind of goes to show like he was really like in denial about the wish thing, like from the start. Like he really wanted to just believe that it wasn't that, and it was kind of crazy, bro. Like I think Bear's character in this movie is really flawed. You kind of see how far he's willing to go just so he can be with this girl, but it's pretty intense, dude. I think there's a lot of themes and symbolism that I don't fully understand it yet. I just barely saw it yesterday, but Obsession, dude, it deserves all the praise it's getting. For me, I'm gonna give Obsession a 90%. I thought it was such a well done film, and Curry Barker, man, I'm looking forward to what he's got working on in the future. I think this guy's a talented fucking director, man. And like I said, bro, he's 2018 LeBron out here, bro. He's just out here fucking dominating this shit. Like I really thought his story was so original, and I'm glad he was able to make this. It wasn't even that big of a budget as well. It goes to show that I really love seeing like young directors take on like such great fucking movies, dude, because I feel like the future of directing is like Gen Z directors. We haven't seen a lot of them yet, but I think you're gonna start seeing more of them come out, because I think there's a lot of creative shit that's gonna be made. You know, even the guy that's directing Backrooms, you know, he's only 20 years old. Like, that's fucking awesome, bro. To be able to like go out there and just, I'm just a fan of like good horror, bro. I like when we have good people making good horror, you know. So this movie is a perfect example of that, and you know, I'm excited to see the future of horror. You know, I hope that there's a lot of good stuff coming out, and I believe that there will be, you know. But other than that, guys, you know, thank you guys for watching. You know, make sure y'all check out Obsession. It is such a great film, and that's personally, it is probably the best film I've seen so far in 2026. So other than that, thank you guys for watching. Yeah.